The season is a long grind with ups and downs, and the usually sure thing Hurricanes have been on a roller coaster of highs and lows. And in the ultra competitive Eastern Conference, the margin for error, even for a team like the Hurricanes, is very, very small. Welcome to Hurricanes Digest. I'm Jeff Testanero. Caniacs, spam that like button, as the kids would say. Smash that subscribe button. Spam that subscribe button. Let's get that count high to make this the number one Hurricanes thing anywhere. It's that time of year, Caniacs. This is the time of year where every game counts. Every game is a big game. And that even goes for teams way out of the playoff hunt. It's that time of year. Got something special for you. Carolina is closing in on clinching, meaning recalls may be just around the corner. It's also that magical time of year for recalls. Playoff hunt, call-ups. Yes, the call-ups. That magical time of year when the NHL rips away the best and the brightest from the AHL roster to fill some spots and maybe even contribute. You know who I'm talking about. That main call-up, Bradley Nadeau. Here are some of Nadeau's NHL stats. I'm sure you've seen them. In the AHL with the Chicago Wolves, Nadeau is doing pretty good. 2025-26 regular season with the Chicago Wolves, 46 games, 25 goals, 26 assists with 51 points. Looking for a big homestand this weekend in Chicago. Or will he be in New Jersey? Will he be in New Jersey? You never know. You never know. Because this weekend, starting tomorrow, that's where the Hurricanes are going to be. It's not if they clinch a playoff spot. It's when they clinch a playoff spot. But before that happens, they have to head into New Jersey and face the Devils. Devils, Hurricanes. Who's going to step up for the Canes to try to sweep out the Devils? Who's going to possibly be in the net for the Canes? You never know. It's that crazy, wonky time of the year. And Rod likes to keep us guessing lately. In the Metro, currently the Canes are alone, as usual, in the top of the Metro. And they have been for a while. Columbus has gotten hot and sitting 9 points away from Carolina from the top spot in the Metro. They climbed into number 2, those pesky Blue Jackets. However, I don't see the Blue Jackets catching the Hurricanes at all. So again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You know, a loss to the Hurricanes for the Devils could eliminate New Jersey once and for all. You know, New Jersey will be playing for their lives tomorrow night as the Sabres and the Canes are currently tied at the top of the East. I'm throwing a lot at you. At the top of the East with 96 points. I said it not too long ago. I really said it not too long ago, and I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. You got to watch out for Buffalo. You got to watch out for Buffalo. Well, what do I know, right? The season series has not wound up good for the New Jersey Devils. It's been a no contest so far for the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have dominated the 2025-26 season matchup against the Devils, winning all 3 previous encounters. 6-3 on October 9th, 3-1 on January 4th, and 4-1 on January 17th. Currently, the Carolina Hurricanes look for the sweep on Saturday versus a Metro rival and a team that is maybe, you can just see the top of their heads in the water. They're drowning. It's always nice to sweep a rival, though. Always nice to sweep a rival. So who's going to be playing for Carolina? Well, it broke a little earlier on X. Mr. Walt Ruff. Always a nice little helper for me. This looks good. This looks promising. Bussy is the day before in the starter's crease. You know? Gossespierre is back, I think. He's been working with Nikishin again. Nice to see Maybe Kokaniemi? His name is there? I don't know. Could be good. You know, moving into tomorrow, the return of Ghost and the reunion with Nikishin looks very, very promising, man. Always nice to see Shane on the ice. Bussy in the crease taking the majority of the reps. Looks promising for the Bus. Freddie, before Montreal, Bus was in the starting day before starter's crease, and then Freddie took the start. But 2 games in a row for Freddie, a few days off, a complete disaster in Montreal. Might as well throw Bus in there, right? You know, he could be the starter against New Jersey. I like the idea of Shane and Nikishin back together. I really, really, really like that combo, and you should too. You should too. Now, Bussy has gotten more than a few days off. Nice to see him getting some net time. I think it's time for some in-game net time. You know, maybe watching Freddie, who started 2 in a row, fueled up the Bus, you know, got him kind of PO'd, be like, hey, man, that's my crease. Thought he had a one from Freddie, but Freddie stormed in, played pretty well after the Olympics. Not too great 2 games in a row, but it is what it is. You know, starting the playoff push, continuing the playoff push in New Jersey. You know, I've been wrong before about who's going to start based on the day before practice, but it is what it is. You know, I really don't see any reason why the Bus shouldn't start. Yeah, and let's look at the forwards. How about the offense? Mr. Andrei Svechnikov has been the Devil's killer this year. Not just this year in general. Remember we did last year in the playoffs? Who's going to lead the offense? Svech. Obviously, you got to look at Andrei Svechnikov, the Devil's killer. He recorded his 4th career hat trick versus New Jersey and a 4-1 win on January 17th. 8 goals, 9 points, last 9 versus the Devils. Killing it. Yeah. Svech is the odds-on favorite to really shine tomorrow night versus the Devils in Newark. Now, hopefully you get out of there. Nobody wants to be in Newark. How about my dark horse? And you can't really sleep on this guy, Nikolai Ehlers. I love Ehlers. You love Ehlers. This dude plays like a demon. Total pun intended, since they're playing the Devils. This guy goes out. I mean, had a shot, shoots the puck off the goalie to the other team, up to the neutral zone, and here comes Ehlers flying in. Boom, forecheck, backcheck, paycheck, right? Ehlers is a man possessed lately. Very strong first season with the Hurricanes. 22 goals, 37 assists. Not really any major production in the last 3 games against New Jersey. You know, this season. But he's been a beast since the Olympics. An absolute beast. Playing forward in the neutral zone. Getting back on defense. Him and Stahl, always great together. Love to see that. Great physical player. Great two-way player on a great two-way line. We talked about Jordan yesterday and his push for a trophy he's deserved for a very long time. You know, personally, if you're anything like me, and I'm sure you are, you don't really care who produces. As long as we roll into Newark, steamroll the Devils, get a little confidence back, feeling a little good. You know, head up to Connecticut to get some pizza capital of the world. And then head up to Montreal and get ready to get some revenge against the Montreal Canadiens. And I thought I would just drop this little nugget of knowledge on you before we go. Little nugget of knowledge for you. With 11 games to go, the Carolina Hurricanes are currently averaging 3.48 goals per game, which is the 4th best rate in the league, but also the 2nd best marker in team history. The only year the team had a stronger rating was 2005-2006. 3.49. Anybody out there Especially all those of you who like to tell me I don't know anything about hockey, about this team. Anybody remember what happened in 2006? I sure as heck remember what happened in 2006. I remember where I was, who I was with, and my reaction in 2006. Here's another hint. Here's a big hint. It rhymes with manly flap. Go ahead. Leave your answer in the comment. That's all I'm going to give you. We all know that numbers are numbers. They don't win games on the ice. They don't often dictate what happens on the ice. The effort of the players has to be better. I'm sure it will. The effort of the players matters in the game. And after being called out by Rod, after Montreal, after whatever happened in Montreal, a few days off, I can't imagine that the Hurricanes won't come out and look to steamroll moving forward. Tomorrow night against New Jersey, Sunday against Montreal, 2 big games. They can knock their magic number down, especially with a few losses. I believe if they win tomorrow night, their magic number is down to 6 because the Devils are the last ones there. The Rangers are out, so the Devils are the last ones there in the Metro. We shall see. Hit that subscribe button and keep an eye on that Buffalo game tonight versus the Red Wings. Not so much for the Red Wings, but for Buffalo. I know I will. I want to win the East outright. I want to be number 1 in the East outright. For Hurricanes Digest, I'm Jeff Testanero. Subscribe, please.